Welcome to Reality NSFW coverage of Survivor South Africa, Return of the Outcast. Are you kidding me? Whew. I'm Jonny Fairplay. I'm joined by Karen Kuhlman and native to South Africa, Tristan Nienaber. Did I get it right?
You did get it right. Well done.
All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys next week. It's all downhill from here. I mean, so I'm pretty excited. We're going to do the cast assessment today, and I don't know if you can tell, but I'm prepared. I have my buff, and if I can go ahead and make a prediction without seeing the cast, I think Mark's going to win.
I think Mark is.
There's no win. Mark on the cast.
Yeah.
Oh wait a second. Wow, hold on. I'm looking at the description here. Survivor South Africa is not Australia, is it?
No.
Oh boy. I feel woefully ill-prepared for this.
You're in for a treat.
Yes. No, I'm excited. I was late to the party for Australian Survivor, but not as late as Matt Bischoff. I've been watching for the last few years. I've been wanting to. I've heard unbelievably amazing things about Survivor South Africa, and I'm just like, hey, if I'm going to jump in, now's the time to do so. Return of the Outcast. I'm an Outcast kind of guy. I mean, I was on Survivor Pro Islands, in which the advent of the Outcast was presented to the world. And I love the twist. I mean, you can look at the looks of everyone's face when Jeff goes, your past has come back to haunt you, and everyone comes, around the corner, and everyone's furious. They're just like, this is horrible, and I'm looking, everything I saw out there on the island, I'm just like, from a television perspective, what do you see, Jonny Fairplay? And I'm just like, hey, I think this is, from a television perspective, I think this is exciting. I think this is fun. I didn't think, how it could, potentially dramatically affect my game and ruin everything. But, I was just like, this is good TV. And truth be told, at the time, and I may be completely 100% wrong, but at the time, I remember the world watching it, accepting it, and appreciating it. But now, years later, in retrospect, they're like, oh, I hated that. It was horrible. It wasn't fair, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, yeah, but I think in 2003, you were pretty okay with it, America, and the rest of the world.
Right.
So, anyway. So that's where that's what I bring to the table as far as Outcasts.
I was actually wanting to say that you were an outcast. So I mean, for this season to be Return of the Outcasts, you kind of know the ends of being an outcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and Luke Toki has pointed out a few people that I should take interest in. And I remember one of them, so he did a 1 out of 3 good job of doing that. Maybe I'll remember the others as we go along. But I'm excited for this. Karen, I believe you have kind of a PowerPoint thing that's gonna lead the way, and you guys, being the experts, you're gonna kind of coddle me a little bit, hold my hand. But I'm gonna kind of Matt Bischoff this and just sight unseen, based on the information provided, give my takes, and hopefully I am ridiculously wrong, and you guys can the viewers and listeners at home can laugh and point and make fun, and whoever I pick to win, I apologize, you're fucked, and whoever I pick to do absolutely awful, congratulations on winning the grand prize.
I'm excited to see your takes, since you're unfamiliar. My understanding is you're unfamiliar with the entire cast.
Well, I've been talking to one player, and they reached out, and I reached back, and I have a Survivor South Africa buff on its way to America as we speak.
I know who you spoke to, Jonny.
I bet you do.
Do you?
My winner pick. My winner pick, but I will say this. He's not going to be my winner pick because I don't want to fuck it up for him. So I have never...
That's super cool.
I have never correctly guessed a winner of anything on any fucking show. So trust me, you do not want this endorsement.
I haven't been great with winner picks either. I had JD and Tori for the last 2 seasons of American Survivor. So
yeah, Matt Bischoff had Tori, and I think Tori private message Matt, fuck you. And they'd already filmed it. She knew, and she was just like, this is why I lost, because Matt picked me.
I had one winner pick, and that was Survivor Australia, where Mark won the recent Blood vs. Water. That was the one. That I had.
Nice.
No, that was me earlier on this episode.
Oh, that's the Mark you're talking about.
Yes. So I'm wearing the Australian buff.
Yes, that actually looks really nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, I was prepared in that I did not have an American Survivor buff.
Soon you're going to have a South African one. So
I'm so excited. Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun.
We'll see what color I get. I mean, it's who knows. All right. So, Karen, let's see if technology will not let you down.
All right, we will see. It doesn't help that it's it's almost everything's in Spanish, but
perfect.
That helps.
All right, got to grant access.
All right.
Okay.
Allow.
Google Chrome. Oh, click the lock to make changes. All right.
Perfect. So, Tristan, while she's doing that, I have a question. What is the prize that we're playing for in Survivor South Africa?
As far as I'm aware, it's still R1 million.
Okay.
So let me pull out my calculator to kind of work out the currency. I know that it's far less than in America, though.
But is it tax free?
From what I've heard as well, I'm not actually too sure, but I've heard that it's not tax free.
It's not tax free. Okay. So because like America is $1 million, but it's tax free. Australia is 500,000, but it's tax free. So it's pretty much the same as the $1 million.
It would be nice if it's not tax free, because then it's clean $1 million. Yeah,
right. So but R1 million is what in like US dollars? Just to.
I think it's roughly like. Let me have a look here. So it's like $1 million.
Okay, it wants me to quit Google Chrome, but I don't know why.
It's roughly about $62,500.
Oh wait,
62,000. That's it.
Yeah.
What? Oh my god!
It's not as much.
That is insanity.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. So, Karen, do you need to quit and then come back in?
Hold on, let me try one other option.
Okay. Or if you want to share that file with me.
Yeah, it's a PDF. I don't know.
Yep. If you just want to send it over. I allow all kinds of shit on my computer. Do not look at my browser history, people, please.
Okay. Is it okay if I just quit and come back?
That's fine.
All right.
Okay. All right. So now we can say all kinds of stuff about Karen. She's hot, right?
Yeah. While she's away, we can get to Skinner. Yeah. Skinner is a word in South Africa, is like gossip.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. So she's hot, and apparently she beat you at a.
Yes, she did.
Was it because she's hot?
I mean, she played a really good game as well. But I mean, her looks, I mean, who would not expect that to be winning, right?
Yeah, there you go. So now she has no idea that we said all this about her.
Did she tell you about the online Survivor that we played?
Yeah. We were not talking about you, I promise.
Oh, okay.
She's ignoring us.
Yeah, she's like pretending she can't hear. She's got that face like I can't hear what's going on.
Yep. All right, did that work, or are you sending me a PDF file?
I think we might be sending you a PDF.
That's fine.
Okay. Oh, but one thing I did want to mention was those online games, because I think they will come into play. In this cast.
Oh wow. Okay, wow.
And there was another thing I wanted to ask Tristan if you were aware of. There was some sort of live game that there were a few players that played a couple years ago. I don't know if you know anything about that.
I've heard of so it was a couple of people that were close on the show, and people who were on with the online community, Survivor fans. They got to play like a live Survivor game, and that sounded really awesome. I wish I could have been a part of that. I didn't know about it, but it sounds really cool. I think it was like it's just a day. It's a day thing where they kind of play Survivor for the day, and they get to do tribals throughout the day and small challenges.
I see.
All right.
I'm working on it.
Oh, good.
Okay, but in the meantime, we can kind of also talk about the format. So this is the first returning season for Survivor South Africa, and I feel it's a little different because they've divided the tribes by pre-merge boots and post-merge boots, and none of them are finalists and no winners.
Yeah, I think that's how I would make pretty much any returning season of Survivor ever. It just makes the most. I mean, unless you're doing number one, I hate the idea of all winners. Like, I thought season 41 is like, all right, when I'm watching Survivor, as a viewer, I'm just like, okay, who do I relate to? You know, like I'm watching, I'm just like, okay, like I'm from, Southern United States, I'm kind of like Nick Wilson, or, or like, or maybe there's someone that reminds me of my old boss, and I'm like, I hate that person, whatever. So you look to relate it to your life. Okay, on Survivor US season 41, all winners. So you're sitting there as a viewer, you're like, what millionaire am I most like? Go fuck yourself.
Oh wait, winners season 40.
Or 40, sorry, 40. It's just like, but like, yeah, what millionaire am I most like? You're an asshole. I would say 99% of the people, everyone except for Mike White, is going, yeah, I'm not like any of these millionaires. I'm not a fucking millionaire.
And I think it would work the same with South Africa as well, because if you obviously when you get the million, and if you taxed on it, it's not a million, and I'm sure it's obviously it goes for. I mean, a million in South Africa it's a lot, but it's also not a lot. It can't really buy you a fancy house, so it can't really be as much. You'll probably get like 100,000, like 600,000, or maybe 800,000 from that. It can help maybe for a big function, like a wedding, if you've saved up for something like that. So, okay, and then it's gone. I mean,
that helps.
It really does.
All right, here we go. I guess I will just use this. Okay.
So if we're going back, I'm just thinking of it now. When we're speaking about the almost finalists, there are two people that came very close to being in the finals, but didn't get that chance.
Yeah, we got one third placer, and I don't know who the other one is. Okay.
Fourth place, Steffy.
Okay. All right. We can just get right in. So I have them divided by the tribes. So we'll go through the post-merge tribe first and start with this specimen.
I like this. I like the backgrounds. I love the flag.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So introduce me. So this is the Masu tribe. So is that the post-merge or pre-merge?
This is the post-merge.
Okay. So these are the people that did almost enough to win, potentially some of your favorites that you saw for most of their seasons. And they're going to go against some of your more dynamic personalities that really shit the bed.
Pretty much.
Dino, I'm talking to you.
All right. So this is our only player from season 4, which I believe was in like 2011.
Ooh, okay.
So quite a long time ago. And I have seen his face on the online games. He played in Rue's online South African Survivor. I don't know his history or anything there, but when I saw his face on this cast list, I was like, wait, I've seen him before. So I don't.
Day, sorry, Karen. Just the other day, he was on. Just to add to that, he was on a podcast with It was Rob has a podcast. They were doing the entries interviews, and he was there, and he was busy saying how he's been on the online Survivor, and he gave shout outs to like Rue and people who have played in the online game. So that was really cool.
Okay.
So if there were to be any kind of fan vote, that would really work for him in the online community. But I'm guessing there's not, so he just wasted his time.
Okay, so according to his little bio, he's in the best physical shape of his life.
Obviously.
He's a black belt in karate.
Yes.
I don't know what a final brown in kickboxing, and did some cage fighting.
Wow. He's pretty much Tyson going into the Challenge USA.
Yeah.
It says he took pride in his status as one of Survivor South Africa's early villains, getting a lot of validation from being part of the world's greatest game. He's accepted his Survivor Conniver nickname and embraced the fact that his play made him a castaway to be reckoned with. He'll be keeping a keen eye out to see who he can trust, but doesn't plan to give his trust away cheaply.
Okay, so how do you pronounce it? His name's Tejan? Or
Tejan, yeah.
Tejan. Okay, so what made him a villain on season 4?
Are you familiar with his gameplay in season 4, Tristan?
Yeah, so basically season 4 was a season with champions. So basically it was half celebrities, half non-celebrities. They had Mark, and there was another guy, I forgot his name. They had as
Cornet.
Cornet, there you go. It was on the tip of my tongue. So they were kind of like the leaders of the Survivor tribe. So it was a very different Survivor season. It wasn't your traditional Survivor season. You had to have like a leader that was kind of calling the shots of the challenge, and the blame wasn't really on any of the contestants. It was always it was Mark who did something wrong, and that's why they're going to tribal, and they couldn't really blame each other and have that. You did this, you did that. But Tejan, he was called the snake of his season, and he was the villain of where he was in his tribe. And I think for this new season, he's saying that he's going to come back as a villain. So I'm excited to see if he's going to hold on that same character that he has, or if he's probably going to play a little bit of a different game.
What made him a snake?
Sorry?
What made him a snake?
Sure. So season 4, for me, I haven't seen season 4 in many years.
Yeah.
So when it comes to him being a villain, I can't really remember what made him the snake. But I do know he said also in his entrance that he was going to be the villain. So
okay.
I recently watched part of season 4, and my understanding was just he would just lie to people and kind of.
Yeah, I guess it's just the general Survivor, like lying and making up stuff to people.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
All right. So I like this guy. I mean, like, as far as being in the best shape of his life, if I look like that, right, he looks like he's jacked, but he looks like an old 40. Like, I'm 48 and I don't think I look that old. So we'll see. I mean, maybe this guy sucked when he was 35 or whatever.
I mean, he really is in the best shape that he's been in, because on his season he looked nothing like this. So yeah. I think what I'm really looking forward to this season is that for the physical aspect, from when he was in his season, he did well. But like, if he's really in good shape now, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can actually do with the challenges.
How was the physicality in Survivor South Africa versus like US and Australia? I know like US or Australia is much more physical than the US. Is South Africa along those same lines?
I would say Australia really does. It kicks the ball out of the park when it comes to physical challenges. They really go out and beyond with their physicality. But South Africa is actually really good. They get a lot of physical characters to play in the seasons. Chappies, which we can speak about in a little bit later. Rob Bentley, who was the winner of season 7, very good physical shaped people that really did well in their seasons, and the challenges are quite hectic. There was the one season, season 7, they had one of the challenges that was actually underwater, so you actually had to go under the ocean and you had to hold your breath. So it had nothing to do with strategy or being strategy or physical, anything that you had to. I have that fear of drowning, so it doesn't matter if you've got a six-pack or if you've got a belly, like you were underwater and you were holding your breath to see if you could outlast everybody. So when it comes to those challenges, it's very different, like Australia, you've obviously got the standard Survivor US physical challenges, but just like on steroids. South Africa, we've got like little twists and turns where it doesn't always just count as being fully physical. You also have to have endurance as well. So like there's a lot of endurance challenges where you're holding stuff, and it doesn't matter how strong you are, but it just depends on how, people who do yoga do well in these challenges.
Yeah, so kind of in between Australia and US as far as physicality.
Yeah, I would say.
Okay, I can live with that.
Pretty much in between.
All right.
Yeah. I think this guy will have a problem with being a big threat, like looking that way and just having a little bit of a reputation. So I would be surprised if he made it to the end, but I would be here for it. And hope, and I hope he goes far.
I like a good bad guy. I'm not putting my eggs in his basket yet, but we'll see. Maybe I'll circle back and he's my pick. But right now, his 100 or 1 million rand is safe because I'm not picking him.
He gives me Jafar vibes, from Aladdin.
Sure.
Also because he was being called the snake, which kind of Jafar turns into that big giant snake at the end, and with him being so physical this season, I'm thinking Jafar.
Okay, so pre-merge, post-merge.
I think he's going to be a very big threat in the game. So I think if I just had to pull something out, I would say pre-merge, just because he's a very big threat.
All right, I'm going pre-merge.
All right, I'll say post-merge. But I think he'll be early post-merge.
Okay, I can live with that. All right, next.
All right, we've got Chappie.
There we go, the person I was talking about.
So this is our third place person. I didn't see the end of the season, so I'm not super familiar with him, but I heard that the only way for him to get to the final two was to win the challenge, and he didn't win.
That is correct. For the whole season, he's very mischievous. He had Chappie's Diner, where he actually took some of the food from the tribe aside on the side where no one knew about it, and he fished for his own food. And while everyone was sleeping, he'd go to his Chappie's Diner and he would cook himself a storm, rice, clams, everything, and he would eat all the food so that he gets all the stamina for all of his challenges. That's what I really liked about him. I haven't seen anything like that on any of the South African survivors, where someone's that mischievous. He's funny as well, and he's just got like a big heart, and above that he's athletic and he's strong. So he got on well with people in the tribe, and he did well in the challenges. When it came to merge, there was no way of voting him out because he won so many immunities.
Well, Jane Bright, she had a separate campsite that only her and Chase Rice knew about, and she would fish on her own for her and Chase, and she fed Chase going throughout that final stretch.
Oh wow, I didn't know about that.
Yep, they never showed it.
How was his social game? Because I'm feeling like it was potentially lacking, but like I said, I haven't seen the whole season, but just from the things I was reading.
His social game was really well. In his season, he was paired with Santini. She was a very big social player from her side. So her social game connected with his social game. So even though he wasn't as social as Santini, Santini played that social shield, and she would go around and she would be the social butterfly while he was, helping around camp and doing well in challenges and everything like that. So I would say he's social, but not as social as the other social people that he played with.
So there's no way he can do a Chappie's Diner part 2, right?
I'm hoping for it. I'm crossing fingers for it. I like Chappie's Diner.
Wouldn't people be looking for it? Like if I'm out there with him, I'm just like, I'm following this motherfucker at night.
Maybe I'm getting Tony Vlachos vibes here from him. So I feel like, he's a bit sneaky. Maybe if it's not Chappie's diner, he's going to think of something different to do this season. If it's not the diner.
Yeah. Tony was
I think-
Tony was so upset with the edit of season 40 because it was like the Golden God on episode 3 of Australian All Stars is just like the greatest single episode for a single play. Like he just does everything. And you're just like, holy shit. And then, I think it's like episode 10 on season 40 where you see Tony do everything. And Tony's like, motherfucker, I was doing that the whole time. Like, he goes, every night I had a separate fire. I would go look for idols every night. I couldn't sleep. He goes, so everyone thinks I'm doing nothing until episode 10. He's just like, this shit didn't just start.
I feel like there's so much on Winners at War that we didn't get to see, which was the most frustrating thing about it.
Well, but just the possibility of Boston Rob coming back, we needed that reminder every episode instead of development with everyone else, right?
I thought it was such a good season. I think the only problem that I had was right at the finale. That was when COVID hit the worst. And it was the first online experience that you're going to get of a finale. And it was so, I don't know, for me as a viewer, it was let down because it was kind of just like everyone popped online and they were like, okay, cool, the winner's Tony. That was it. That kind of just ended there. And it was, it was a big, massive build-up for season 40 being a season full of winners, So when it came to announcing the winner of winners, it was quite quick.
Yeah, anticlimactic.
Yeah.
No one likes a Zoom meeting.
No.
All right.
Back to. I think this guy's going to be first or second boot.
Wow.
I'm very half, eh? So, like, you know what? The thing is he does so well in the challenges that I think they might need him. So if they have to land up going into tribal from the get-go, from the start, if, let's say, pre-merge wins first immunity, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to need the strength to carry on going, because there's no tribe swaps coming in anytime in the future. So they're going to need some brawn. I think they're going to keep him around longer than first or second. I do think that because he is a big threat, I think he's a bigger threat than Tejan. He may be a pre-merge boot. Not sure when. Probably just before merge, actually, because I don't think they would allow him to get into merge. So probably just before then.
I like the idea of this guy, but it's very difficult to catch lightning in a bottle twice. And as I said, I think attempting to do Chappie's Diner 2.0 is going to be nearly impossible. And so if you're looking to see that same character a second time, I think you're going to be let down, and maybe internally that lets himself down. And as a result, you're not going to get anywhere close to the performance that you did round one. So I'm going pre-merge on Chappie.
And it's hard for me to say pre-merge because Chappie's, if I have to actually choose a handful of survivors out of Survivor AU, SA, and America, I would still say that Chappie's is probably one of my favorite survivors. So it's hard for me to say pre-merge boot because he's back.
I see a likability, just hearing everything, just looking at the guy. Like I see a likability, but I feel like that likability can work against him. So, but maybe there's so many just, people trying to play something different. Maybe playing something different is just like, hey, me working with Chappies is not something I would have done my first time. And maybe that's the difference between me winning and losing this game this time.
He could be a meat shield.
Yeah,
he can be.
So.
And I feel a lot of times people are so afraid about these people winning their way to the end, but people who win their way to the end typically don't win.
Yeah.
Or
and I imagine this guy's like really good TV, right?
He's amazing TV.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to change my. I think he makes the merge because I want to see this guy for as long as possible if he's good TV. Once again, I do not think he can replicate what he did the first time. Jonny Fairplay couldn't replicate what he did the first time. So, I mean, there's big shoes to fill when you are this large in life personality. So I feel his pain, but yeah. So I'm gonna go post merge, but not a win.
And I get what you say as well, because like with Chappies and third place, you could be almost the winner of a season and then return as like fans versus favorite and not go anywhere near the final. So it all depends on the lack. I wouldn't say lack on, but like what's the word I'm looking for? But like depends who you're playing with. It depends what is being said. Like right in the get go, are people like I would be if I had to play with Chappies, I would probably want to get rid of him ASAP because I know that he's a really good character, good TV, strong, mischievous. I would say this guy needs to go.
I'm sure he hates to hear that. And you're a fan, and you're like, I gotta get rid of this guy.
watching him on TV, I'm all for him. I'm Team Chappies, but if I had to play with him, I'd say,
That's why I think he might be an early merge boot. Because in modern Survivor, people seem to not be concerned about losing challenges, which still blows my mind a little bit. But they just all right.
That's why modern Survivor is not the best. All
right, Marion. So she was on
favorites right in the beginning.
She's what?
Said Karen's pulling my favorites right in the beginning. So Chapter's one of my favorites. Marion, my favorite female this season that I'm really rooting for.
I'll read a little bit from her bio. Okay, so Marion is probably the biggest Survivor fan in South Africa. Is that true, Tristan?
Yes, I would think so.
She's followed each season closely and has been particularly vocal commentator about the show online. She knows the game inside and out, but still struggled on her season when the addition of the captains put her off her game. Despite that, she still made her mark on the game as Survivor SA's first true female villain, confident that she had a better grasp of the game than her fellow castaways and was more astute than them. Her biggest challenge this season will be adapting to how the game has changed in the 8 years since she played.
Okay, so I have a question. Marianne's online presence, is she? I mean, it's obvious she's vocal. Is she mean about the newer players, or is there a jovialness to her commentary?
I wouldn't say she's mean. I think Marianne just has this very soft, warm, from the very first episode where she was like, Jeff was standing in front of her and she's like, you there and I'm here and I'm dying. I'm this big Survivor fan. It's just a little bit different to that because when Marion first played on her season, the way she looks, she didn't look anything like this in her original season. She's been diagnosed with vitiligo, which is basically like a rare skin disease that you get. When she was on Survivor South Africa,
one of the biggest U.S. Survivor players has that now, so it hasn't openly discussed it. We've had private conversations, but they're currently experiencing this.
Yeah, and I mean, I've from what I've read up on the disease, it can be triggered from stress, something so small, So where it could have been an activation, whether or not it happened to her, and the way she sees this as she didn't think she would ever be called back for a returnee season, and for her to be called back, she's blown away from it. She's really happy that she's being called back. I think she's representing a lot of the women in South Africa. It's a big thing to have representation as a female because there's a lot of gender-based violence, so for her to stand up and with her to have the strength that she has to come back, it made it like in her entry, she even cried because she said that she's a fan and she wants to be a fan with a million rand. So
is Marianne going to kill me right now because she's already just won my heart and I've completely fucked her by announcing her already as my winner pick? Is that? Sorry, Marianne. you got too much. I love you too much. I know that this Survivor legend will be watching this season, and with the same affliction, and I know that person is gonna be calling me after every episode. We're gonna be in tears. We're gonna be I think hearing all that. I mean, like, fuck. I'll send you $62,000. It's not gonna fuck up my life. But I don't have $1 million, but yeah, I like Mary. I cannot. I mean, she could shit in her hand and throw it at people, and I'd fucking root for her. I think it's a pretty incredible story. So yeah, sorry, Marianne, you're my winner pick. I just fucked it all up for you. My bad.
Yeah.
I think
And Marion,
I think she'll get deep into the merge, but I don't think people will want to take her to the end because I think she might have too good of a story. And I feel
maybe
like
she doesn't tell anyone her story, and they're just like, whoa. But yeah,
she shouldn't.
They're gonna know her story.
Yeah.
So I'm saying all the way to the end. I really wanted to get as far as possible. On her original season, she was very mischievous. She was playful. She's very straightforward, you know, when she says, she even said in her entry that if you're coming for me, I'll come for you. So I feel like she's strong. She's a strong, independent woman. I say all the way to the end.
But not your winner pick.
Winner pick.
I've already chosen. You don't have a choice.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one. It really is. She's amazing. I want to say Winnipeg.
Yeah, but I already said it, so you can't say it. Only one person can say it. One person.
I know I can't say it, but
I haven't decided yet. I'm guessing 4th place for her though.
Oh wow. Okay. Tristan's going second because
yeah, I'm going second.
Yeah, and see, you've chosen a winner before. If you had chosen her again, you might have gone 2 for 2 for winners. Man, I'm so sorry, Marianne. I am an asshole. I could have right there. 2 for 2, Tristan. Oh well, maybe next year. We'll see. We'll see you on season 18.
Yes.
So don't worry, you'll get to be on there because you didn't win, and because they're going to continue not to bring winners back. So you're fine, Marianne. Thanks to my picking you.
All right, so we have Shane next. So he also played on Champions and was a super tight ally with Marion. And that leads me to believe, okay, one thing I don't know though is, so this was 8 years ago, but he wound up playing an idol on her when she got voted out, and she gave it back to him, and then she wound up getting voted out that round. So the fact that he played an idol on her, I think will automatically put them as a duo. I don't know if they've kept up any sort of relationship since then. If they have, that'll be even a bigger target for them. But I think because of that, one of them is going early, and I feel like it would be Shane over her at this point.
You've literally taken every single word out of my mouth. That's exactly what I wanted to say. Now that you've pulled out Shane, I do think very, very early boot. He played a good game. He was a villain. He was seen as a villain, and he says this season he wants to play as a hero.
Oh.
And like you mentioned, Karen, duos is a big thing that I think of when I think of returnee people that come back into a season. You know, do they play with each other? Do they play against with each other? It's because they played with each other that they have to play against each other to prove that they can still be in the game and play against who they played with in the original season. If they can pull that off, then maybe he can stay longer, but I do feel like they will boot Shane off early.
Another aspect of his gameplay, like he was very good, like strategically and socially, and he found several idols, but he got overly confident, and that was his downfall, and got booted with I think 2 idols in his pocket at 7. So
yeah.
I assume he wouldn't make the same mistake of arrogance, but I don't think he'll get far enough to be able to be in that position again.
Yeah, I agree. And he says that he wants to lie as well. So I kind of feel a bit scared for him because he said in his entry that he wants to still play that villain role, but he's going to make like he's a hero and he's going to lie. So when he said that, I kind of feel a bit scared. You know, when people in Survivor say that they're going to lie, if you can get away with it, great. But if you don't get away with it and people find out that you're lying very early in the game, and if anyone catches that out, a little bit of danger's bound to happen quite soon.
Yeah, he's also worked in military counterintelligence.
Ooh.
So we might have some military precision here.
Right, my good friend Mark from Australian Survivor is military precision. It's a shame they didn't mention it on the actual season every episode. Oh wait, they did. That's okay. Mark also mentioned it multiple times during the podcast that we had with him. So that was, but in jest. So I do love Mark, and I did mention that I did not love Mark going into Blood. So yes, he won me over. Shane looks like a poor man's Sean Connery. So with that alone,
I can't unsee this. I can't unsee this now.
Yeah, he's also a poor man's John Locke from Lost, but more so poor man's Sean Connery. Yeah, I'm gonna go pre-merge.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't like the identity crisis. Like if you're a villain, embrace it. Don't like I think a lot of people that hated Jonny Fairplay back in the day, potentially love me now. That's great, but I'm still not a hero. So don't and I'm not gonna pretend to be. So I'm just Jonny Fairplay. that's it. So I'll take legend, but don't I'm not a fucking hero. So no one's casting me on the fucking
legend.
Yeah. So no one's casting me on the fucking heroes, good guys tribe. Okay. So no one's casting you on the good guys tribe either, Shane. So relax. Pre-merge. He doesn't know who he is. Ooh, Meryl. Meryl went to fucking glamour shots by Debbie at the mall. She's wow. All right. And holistic movement coach. My girlfriend would love her. I, on the other hand, think that she's a witch doctor and don't believe any of the mumbo jumbo that she's thrown out.
So she's a musician and performer.
Obviously. And so she has no real job. She needs the money.
She's married with 3 children, which sounds like a lot at 31. She says she is a big Survivor fan, but understood after her season that she is not the biggest, despite Survivor being an institution in her household. This time around, she's looking to play a more rooted game, but be careful with her empathetic nature and just have fun. Not getting winner vibes.
No.
So the thing is, she was in season 7 and she did really well. She made really good TV. She stirred the pot a lot. She didn't know where to hide her idol, which was also quite good TV. And she needed help.
Neither did Mark's wife. Sam too had. So Sam, when you see Sam, tuck Jesse's idol that she stitched him up for, she wasn't wearing bottoms.
Oh.
So she convinces Jesse to give her his idol because they're like, he's like, should I just put it down my pants? They're like, oh, no, they'll notice. She goes, give it to me, I'll hold it. And he's like, okay. She doesn't have bottoms when she says this.
I'm looking forward to her gameplay though, because she did say in her entry that she's learned to trust herself more. So that sounds very interesting, because when you're playing a game of Survivor, I would think, because I would hopefully want to play the game one day. Going into the game as someone who doesn't, you've got an idea of how the game is going to be, but once you're in there, it's a whole new game, and you don't know where it's going to go down or what's going to happen, or if this scenario happens, how do I work around it? So I think that's what I've learned with playing online Survivor. Is it's helped me in that kind of mind space to think, okay, if your plan doesn't go, if plan A doesn't work, what is plan B? Plan B doesn't work, what is plan C? So with Meryl, for example, with her season, there was a lot of unlucky parts where she did fall through the cracks, where she didn't know where to hide the idol and someone spotted her, or if she wanted to, there was a one feast that they had, there was an idol that they hid in the roof somewhere, but obviously to get that idol is in clear sight of everyone else, so she had to get help to say, you know, there's an idol over there. Can you distract other people so that I can get the idol? And that made really good TV. It was probably one of the best parts of the season. I think that's why I like Meryl a lot, because she gave good TV for that episode. I loved it, where she had to get the idol that was on the roof, and Dante, who's actually also in the season, which also ties into duos, whether they work or not, together or not. She had to get help, obviously, to get that idol. So with her saying that she's trusting herself more, she's going to follow her gut, I feel like she can maybe pull a couple of big moves. And she said she's got some tricks up her sleeves. So I'm excited to see what she's got.
I would like to show that I've grown as a person, because, you know, this I see her resume 10 years ago, and not only do I not pick her to win, I don't like her. However, a more mature, a smarter, a more embracing Jonny Fairplay, you know, I guess I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to end up watching some of these episodes with my girlfriend. My girlfriend's an empath. My girlfriend believes in holistic medicine. My girlfriend doesn't believe in actual medicine. My girlfriend's not a musician. So, but I think Meryl's coming in with a learning curve, and, you know, and adaptability is the number one skill set that you can bring to Survivor. I'm going post-merge, going against my gut. And I also feel that I will be reluctantly rooting for Meryl along the journey. She's gonna win me over, is what I'm politely trying to say. Yes. Or not so politely. I'm not sure.
I don't think that she can win, but I could see her going at all sorts of phases. What I think will ultimately happen with her is that she'll be an expendable member of an alliance. And it won't necessarily be something she did. It is just like they have to make a decision now and they can get rid of her, is how I see it going.
I see post-merge. I don't think close to the finals, though. I do feel that there are stronger people in the season that personalities would possibly clash with Meryl's, and along the line, post-merge somewhere, she'll be cut.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm going to say post-merge, though.
All right, all three post-merge. Look at you, Meryl. Would not have guessed that when we flicked on the picture.
Steffy. Okay, so she is a former beauty queen, but she's not your typical pageant princess. A self-proclaimed jock, she has a long history of excelling in the sporting arena, making her a formidable castaway. So I feel like
you're reading my bio.
So yeah, she's like a fitness model. She did very well in her season. She was in a dominant alliance the whole time, but she wanted to cut the winner of the season because she saw he was going to win, and it came back and bit her, and they got her instead. So that was her. I don't know what else she could have done, really.
Yeah,
she tried to make the right move, but didn't have the social capital, I guess, to make it happen.
Yeah. Season 7. So also she was in the same season with Meryl as well. So personalities clash, and Meryl and Steffi's personalities did clash in the season, and obviously Steffy came out a little bit stronger. She was dubbed the Lara Croft of season 7.
Oh.
She is very physical. She's done well in her endurance challenges, and I think even in the first episode they plaited her hair in a way, and they gave her like a, you know, that crop tank top with a classic short shorts with boots to give her that Lara.
Yeah, I'm for it. So do you know via like online chatter, you know, based on comments on like Instagram or whatever, are Steffy and Steffy and Meryl, are they friends now?
I'm hoping they could be friends, because this season I see them working with each other.
Yeah.
I think so I do a bit of stalking where I go onto Instagram and I have a look to see if who's following who.
Sure.
To kind of get like some kind of insight to see maybe if they're going to work with each other, maybe not so much.
So are they following one another?
They are.
Okay. You
Also,
usually
one
don't
thing.
follow people that you hate or that fuck you over in current times. I don't. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that you know that hate me. Well, I know for a fact there's plenty of people that hate me that fucking follow me. You can unfollow me because you know all you have to do is raise your hand. I'll block you. I promise.
I thought in Steffi's season that sometimes she could come off as rude, so that could be something that could affect her. But she was always surrounded with people that didn't quite matter so much. Like she had good allies, but I could see her rubbing some people the wrong way.
She definitely rubbed a lot of people the wrong way in her season. So she was a part of the Amigos alliance with Rob, the winner of season 7. Nicole, Steffi was in it as well. They planned to go on to the end with each other, and like Karen mentioned, she wanted to cut the winner short. Nicole found out about it. She told Rob. They ended up cutting her. She was actually pretty much almost idled out that episode because everyone played their idols, and she, you know, ended up being on the short end of the stick. She was, like I said, she was a physical beast in her season. She did very well with endurance challenges. This season, I am looking forward to her gameplay because, like Karen mentioned, she rubbed people off the wrong way. She came across as rude. You wouldn't think that from someone who was in the beauty pageant kind of industry. You would think that
I would think that.
Yeah, no, that's very much on brand. the little fake speech shit they say, that's fake speech shit.
I would think
you don't interact with a lot of beauty queens, do you, Tristan?
I don't.
Okay.
Watching Miss Congeniality, I always think that people say world peace and then they move on from that.
Yeah. They spell peace Piece. and so do I.
So also what I'm looking forward to, because she was a physical beast and she came across the wrong way to people, she did mention in her entry that she's had an injury on her ankle, I think it was. So now that has brought her back on physicality, and she says she wants to show vulnerability. So I think she's going to open up this season. She's going to be a little bit more, I think she's going to be the very different character to when she was on her previous season. I see a lot of characters coming back this new season as, I mean, I guess they all trying, I've watched all their entries and they're saying that they pretty much wanting to play the opposite game that they played when they were on the season, because maybe they think if they play a different game, it's going to get them further, right? So with Steffi, I think she's going to be the biggest change because she can't be the same as she was on her season. So she's going to need to rely on her social game this season to get her far.
I'm going to say pre-merge.
I would say pre-merge, but I want the two to work together. So I'm going post-merge, but a series of unfortunate events will take her out soon afterwards.
That's a difficult one. I think I'm gonna go with post-merge because I feel like she's got good connections with people in her tribe. She may be tribe screwed somewhere along the line. Maybe that could end her to being pre-merge, but I'm going with post-merge. I say she makes good connections.
All right.
Okay.
Next, Dante. Hey, he's a podcaster. Look at that.
So I mean, I did watch Island of Secrets, but I don't really remember him that much. But my understanding is that he didn't get along well with people.
That sounds like most podcasters I know.
So I'm gonna say poor social game. I don't know. Do you have more to say about him, Tristan? You seem more familiar.
I do. So when he first was on his season, he had a coffee shop actually. So he was not a podcaster. He had a coffee shop going. So he was a business person. He knew the ins and outs on how to run a business. So I do think that he knows how to control a certain amount of people. When he was on his season, he tried to get an alliance going with the Outcasters. to stand up. All the people that were weak.
Well, this is a
Letitia,
season full of them. by title alone.
So he tried to get all the people who were on the outs together to try and vote off the strong people, which for me, I would think in Survivor, that's a genius move, because when you see people who are strong and they're physical, they're going to get far. They're going to get into merge. And once they get into merge, they're going to start winning immunities, and they are going to be difficult to get out. And Dante, being as physical as he was, he saw that he could, if he made it to merge, which he did, would win, immunities going forward. But there were just way too many physical threats that were better than him. If his plan worked with the Misfits, then maybe he would have made it further than he did on his season.
And this season, what does he podcast about now?
From what I know, I've seen a couple of his. He does do a couple of Survivor ones. He speaks to people on the show.
This little bio says he hosts a podcast dedicated to interesting outlier personalities who are making a difference in the world, however big or small.
Okay. And then he does like a
little Survivor on the side.
Survivor interview wrap-up show deal.
Yeah.
Right. So it seems like competition to what I'm doing, so I'm vehemently rooting against him, and obvious pre-merge.
I'm also going to say pre-merge for him, because I don't think he has the social abilities to navigate I think returning player seasons are even more difficult to play. So I just don't think he has it, but I'd like to be wrong.
He looks very different this season. So when he was on his original season, he had long blonde hair, and they called him the Aquaman of the season. So now he shaved his head, so he looks very different. And he said we could be looking forward to different speedos that he's going to have.
Wow. I'm a big speedo guy.
He had a lot of speedos in that season. Very shirtless, very speedo.
I would like to thank my good friends at Noodle Bags. That's Noodle Bags with a Z. If you're looking for a Speedo type apparatus to wear, I suggest you go to Noodle Bags, because they put their bag on my noodle.
Noodle bags. I need to Google this. I need to see what a noodle bag looks like.
Yeah, they're good. I got some new striped ones the other day, and some tie-dye ones. So I'm preparing for when I get a call for a Survivor outside of America, and and this is just universally accepted there, the Speedo look. Mm-hmm. So I'm acclimating my body to it now, so that that's not one more thing I have to contend against when I'm out there.
Yeah.
So Noodle Bags, people, check them out. Noodle Bags with the Z. So you're on Instagram at Noodle Bags. Okay, so pre-merge, everybody.
I say pre-merge, yeah.
Yeah, I say pre-merge. The reason why I say pre-merge is because he's very in his head, and he's said for the season he's stronger outside of his comfort zone, and he'll thrive. However, I do find that his personality is just too conservative, and he's not out there. And the personalities that are here this season are big and out there. So I would say pre-merge.
But Dante, I would like to say, because I know you're listening to this, once you get voted out, we'd love to have you on this podcast. So thanks. We feel like you're going to have plenty of time to join us. Good luck.
Oh. All right, Palesa. So she's a radio presenter. Did she find more than one idol in her season?
She did, yes.
So she's an idol hunter.
She's an idol hunter.
Yeah, it says that she came into her first season without much knowledge of the game, with no predetermined strategy, preferring to play instinctively. This time around, she's aiming to be more social and to try to be more intentional and proactive.
She was actually voted out with an idol in her pocket.
Maybe if she had done any kind of prep whatsoever, she would have known to have played it. I'm not a fan of anyone that doesn't prep. And if we had Chrissy go into Australian Survivor, who had never seen the show before she was cast, but she started watching the show to learn as much as she could before then. I mean, there was a limited amount of time. but and maybe even comedically doing it, but she was learning the game prior. I had never seen the show before I was cast, ever. So I'm one of the greatest players of all time. I'd never seen the show. However, I went on eBay, I ordered every single episode prior to season 7, every early show interview in which they explained why they felt a further explanation of why they felt they were voted out of that particular episode. And then I went to Catalina. I became skin diver and scuba diver certified. I'm doing Runyon Canyon 2 days a week or two times a day. I'm going to Pink's Hot Dogs, trying to put on calories, drinking metric shakes. I did everything. I feel I was the most prepared player in the history of Survivor who had never seen a single episode prior to being cast. But Lisa just wants to go wing it. Sorry, I feel like it's kind of a slap in the face.
So with my read on Palesa, when she was in her season, I was rooting for her because the winner at the time there, Tom, there was the way the episodes were edited made Tom look like everyone wanted him out and no one ever put their foot forward to actually go ahead and vote the guy out. They kept him around. He would, when they won food challenges, he would take the spoon and he would lick it and then he would give it to other people so that they can eat off the same spoon, and it peed people off a lot. And Palesa was one of those where she wanted to get him out, but she had to work with him because no one really wanted to get him out at any time. So it was kind of like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith kind of vibe where, it was like a love-hate relationship between the winner and Palesa.
Is her, it was the idol she had, was that the podium idol?
Sorry, say again?
Someone in the comments.
Oh, she did have the podium idol. Right?
Yes. Yes, she did.
Adam Klein, big fan.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, the Adam Klein, the podium idol, that the attempted podium idol that Adam Klein went for on season 40, it should have been a fucking idol.
I agree. I was like screaming on my couch, like hoping it was an idol. Yeah. That all his like the stuff he was saying that made him believe it was the idol. Like I'm kind of surprised it wasn't the idol.
Yeah. And Jeff's looking at him like he's like, why would you think that? It's just like, I don't know, because I study the fucking show. and that would be, he was like, oh yeah, no. It's just like, okay. But if you thought about it, Jeff, maybe you would, it was like, yeah, that probably would have been, I felt like he just, like, Jeff was just like, this kid's a moron. And I'm just like, no, production's a moron on this one.
Yeah. So I'm inclined to make her my winner pick because she did pretty good just winging it. And this time, it sounds like she's a little more prepared, but like she does have the ability to know, like, I know she hated Tom in that season, but she knew she had to work with him or it wasn't going to work out for her. So she can navigate and like understand. I think she's socially pretty aware. So I don't know. I'm not gonna like say yet, but she's in my contenders for the winner pick.
So definitely post-merge and potential winner pick.
Correct.
All right, Tristan, where are you at?
Karen, I agree with you 100%. She was on season 6, so she was the Ice Queen, and the Ice Queen basically saying that she was pretty much cold her season. I think she wanted to get the winner out, but no one kind of wanted to work with the plan that she had. This season, she said she's wanting to turn from Ice Queen to Social Butterfly. So I think this season she's really going to focus on making people like her. And I see her sitting in the finals. So I say post-merge.
I'm always here to give someone a second chance. And as I said before, felt it was a slap in the face to do no preparation whatsoever. Your first time out. Seems like you've learned the error of your ways. And I feel for our last 2 gals to go as far as I expect them to go in this game. We're looking at a potential women alliance, not necessarily all women, but definitely a core group of women. and I can see Palesa working in that mix. So I got post-merge. And you get credit for finding the idol on the podium, and you probably only found that because you didn't know that you shouldn't. All right.
Tony. Okay, so Tony was the host, one of the hosts of the game that we played together, that I won.
Oh, wow.
So, and beat Tristan. Sorry.
She specializes in bad tattoos. I like that. I too have some bad tattoos. I'm getting one of mine taken care of, though. I'll give Tony my guy. It's Harry's Tattoo in Danville, Virginia, Tony. Probably a pretty far trip for you.
All right, so from her bio, it says Tony is incredibly active in the Survivor community, hosting online Survivor games, participating in Survivor fan events, and is very vocal on social media platforms. Her straight-talking persona from the show reflects her in real life, too. A bold character, she is someone who isn't afraid to address conflict. She feels she made too many emotional choices in her season rather than listening to her gut. Understanding the need to form social bonds early in the game, she says she's had to learn to stroke egos and isn't afraid to use that skill. She's determined not to make the mistake of forcing herself to choose between loyalty and strategy again.
100%.
She's won some online games too, right?
I don't know if she's won online.
Okay. I don't know. I've never played with her.
She was in one of so not Rue's one, but I know she was in Rian's, one of Rian's online games. She didn't win it though. I think she was even a pre-merge boot. But I mean, when you're playing in an online Survivor with an actual contestant from the show who hosts an online Survivor, she's bound to be pre-merge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think maybe she won a duos game with Rue. I don't know for sure.
Oh, okay.
All right. I think Tony was one of Luke Toki's picks, right? That's one of the three he endorsed.
I don't know who he endorsed.
I feel that he endorsed Tony and Francois.
Yes.
Tony, Francois, and Dina.
Yeah.
So I want Tony to win, but I feel like there will be some sort of clash and that she won't be able to stay under the radar when she needs to. So I think she'll probably go out around the same place, around 7 again. But I think she's definitely going to make merge. I hope, at least.
I feel
she seems good enough socially.
Yeah, with the online Survivor, I'm hoping that kind of ropes in an online Survivor alliance, with Tony, with Dino, with Shane, kind of Tejan, yes, definitely. So I'm hoping, something happens there. We know Tony. She's amazing. She's always straightforward.
Do you guys online people work against your compatriots more than other people do, though?
That's a tricky question.
I feel like there's a component of you that, there's so many survivors that, they get called to play again, and they're just like, oh, this has kind of been out of my system, I'm a little rusty, and they just, just jump in and just enjoy it. Where you have the online people that, they get that thirst and they have to continue to quench it. And then they go out there and they're just like, this is what they've been waiting for. And that thirst, it's just like, yeah, this is my friend in the online world, but now we're playing this, so fuck them. And I almost see that it's almost a double-edged sword. It's just like, here's my online person. Now I'm gonna, they fucked me online, so I can double fuck them in real life.
I think the way that I think of online people is they have more practice with maybe not choosing the emotional or the loyalty decision. It just depends who you are as a person, though, because sometimes, you can tell yourself over and over that you're going to make the smart choice and not the one you feel. So I don't know how practiced she is at being able to cut people off when they need to be, but she said in her thing that she's not afraid to do that, because that was kind of her downfall, was she's a loyal person and she wouldn't go against what she thought she shouldn't when she should have.
Yeah.
So
And maybe the online thing has helped with that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
right.
definitely. So I mean, from when she was on her season till now, there's a lot of life changes that she's had as well. You know, when she was in season 6, she was with someone who she really loved, and she went through a divorce and everything. So she's had to go through heartbreak, you know, and
Was she divorced because she didn't win?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. This is Tony. This is a podcast for jokes. I'll be telling many of them.
So she's like,
that's why I'm divorced.
Oh no. But yeah, like her coming into the season, she said she's not going to be as emotional and firecrackery as she was in season 6. So I think, you know, when you go through heartbreak in different ways, you learn things about yourself, and you learn to calm the storms in different ways, because you need to learn stuff about yourself that you didn't really have when you were with someone. And when you change in a way that when you're in a new season, with people that you've played with before, as we were speaking about duos, Tony is she was in a duo with PK, who we're going to speak about now.
Yeah,
it's also another case of, you know, Marion and Shane and Tony and PK. Do they work with each other? Do they not work with each other? Do seasons work with each other? You know, do season 7 stick with each other? Do season 8 stick with each other? Tony, because like what Karen just said now, with having experience with Online Survivor, they've done Online Survivor it's leaving my brain, returnee seasons on Roos Online Survivor. So Tony kind of gets the ins and outs of we were on the season together, we'll play with each other. Does it work? Does it not work? Do we make an all-women's alliance? Is it going to work? Because it seems like the women in the post-merge tribe seem very strong, you know. Tony's, you know, a big personality. Marion, big personality. Meryl, big personality. So would they come together? Possibly. I see her definitely being post-merge.
I mean, she got the recommendation from Luke Toki. It's post-merge for me. It's that simple. Luke doesn't endorse losers. He's the people's champ. He's the king of the jungle. Yes. All right. PK,
All right.
Speaking of which.
PK. So, from his little bio, he says, having originally thought that Survivor was all about playing a strong physical game, his experience taught him the importance of the social side, which he splits into 2 parts.
He's like
social.
Rupert. I just want to pat him on the head. I just thought I'd win, and then they'd give me money. Yeah, I know. We are fully aware that that's what you thought, Rupert. I hung around camp instead.
Okay, so he said it splits into 2 parts: social for friendship and loyalty for political gain. Aiming to make people feel more comfortable around him this time, he'll be looking to trust sooner to allow relationships to mature and build a stronger alliance earlier in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tristan, but wasn't he like in the late pre-merge, like just really wanting to make a big move just to make a big move and kind of, and he just messed things up.
He was all over the show. When I think what the whole thing was, the paranoia got to PK because you know, with Tony and PK, they were always on the outs. They were always the outcasts of where the votes were going. So I think it kind of got to him. And when it got to post merge, things just started getting a little bit messy. It started going all over the show, and they had to get rid of him.
Yeah, they wanted to get rid of him. I'm surprised he made it as far as he did, because he was always on the chopping block, so to say. But he did have idols, at least one, right?
Yeah, he did. what I like about PK is he didn't understand the game of Survivor. He didn't know how it worked. So with PK to be on the outs for so long, I would have thought if you don't have any Survivor knowledge and you're always on the outs, you're bound to be pre-merge. He made it post-merge, so he played a really good game to make it where he did.
I think he's the type of player I would not want to play with. I would want him out as soon as possible. He's just a little unpredictable, and I see him as the type he'll cut anyone if he has to. Like, I don't see him having a problem with that. And he's very calculating. He's pretty smart too. So I think he's a huge threat.
I do think he's a huge threat as well. I think his physical ability is a very close matchup to Chappie's, Francois. So I do think maybe clashing personalities, leads to one of them leaving sooner than the other. With me thinking Chappie's post-merge or almost pre-merge, but almost post-merge. If I have to call for PK, I would say pre-merge, just because he's a really good player. He's a big threat, and also because of the whole duo scenario. I think they're going to, especially for this tribe, they've got a lot of duos going on. So I think in order to gain people's trust, I think they're going to say, if we get this person out, we can get rid of that person, slice that person, and we can work going forward instead of kind of beating around the bush and keeping each other's duos. It's kind of like blood versus water, where you're playing with your blood. PK and Tony were very close with each other. So I think for Tony's game to go forward, everyone's kind of going to say, do we need to cut PK because you guys were working with each other? Possibly.
Well, I've picked 3/4 of the cast to make post merge. So sorry, PK, just numbers. Not everyone's gonna make it. That's not how the show works. I don't think you're coming back later. So yeah, PK, you're pre-merge. It's just called math.
I should have been keeping track how many I said. I was thinking, is this even going to add up, or am I going to say
mine are not.
Pre-merge?
Mine are not adding up. Or the pre-merge tribe is just totally going to shit the bed. They're going to get fucking gonged out of here.
The problem I have with this season is that there's a lot of players that are back this season that I really like, and I just want to all say post-merge. And I was thinking the same now while I'm busy saying pre-merge, post-merge, pre-merge. I'm like, I'm not keeping track of who's pre-merge and who's post-merge. I'm just saying post-merge with everyone.
Yeah. So now I try to course correct at the end, so PK just falls victim to that on this tribe. So, but as I said, I could look at the pre-merge cast and be like, oh well, there's a reason they didn't make the merge in the first place. So, but with that, we're gonna talk the pre-merge tribe right after this break. We're all trying to eat better, but healthy breakfast doesn't have to be boring. Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors you love, but without all the bad stuff, and it's amazing as a midnight snack right before bed.
0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. That's only 140 calories per serving.
It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. And build your own box. Available flavors to build your very own custom bundle are cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon, cookies and cream, and my favorite, maple waffle. Now, Magic Spoon recently brought back their 2 super popular flavors, cookies and cream and maple waffle. Thank goodness, but they're back permanently. And when these flavors were first introduced for a limited time, they sold out extremely quickly. Now, I'm here to let you know you can get them again or try them for the first time. Why? Because they're delicious and indulgent.
Johnny, Magic Spoon has so many great flavors that I really enjoy, and even my kids enjoy them. We have the cocoa, fruity frosted, peanut butter. All these are really great combinations. They enjoy waking up in the morning and getting some Magic Spoon right off to start their day great before they head off to school. I think everybody listening should give Magic Spoon a try, or if you've tried them already, it's time to reorder. Let's get you some more Magic Spoon and get your day started right.
Hey, when I finish a podcast late at night, the first thing I'm thinking is not sleep. It's let me grab a delicious bowl of Magic Spoon before I go to bed.
So go to magicspoon.com/survivor to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code survivor at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/survivor and use the code SURVIVOR to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this podcast.
Thanks for sticking with us through the ad break. Don't forget, for more exclusive Reality NSFW content, visit adfree.nsfw.com.
This episode of Reality NSFW is sponsored by Blue Chew. Say it with us, Blue Chew. Blue Chew is making waves and bringing more confidence to the bedroom by offering chewable tablets that can help men get stronger and longer lasting erections. That's right, we're giving away super hard dicks.
Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets help men achieve harder, stronger erections to combat all forms of ED.
Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor offices, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And the best part, it's all done online.
Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's sildenafil and tadalafil tablets are chewable. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy.
Hey, if you're looking to give that immunity idol to someone, or you don't want to be voted out of a crater, don't worry, Blue Chew's got you covered. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's Blue Chew, BlueChew.com, promo code SURVIVOR to receive your first month free. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
All right, we're back. Hey, my mom tried Magic Spoon this week and loved it. So, and she informed me that all of her single friends also like cereal, and she mentioned the benefits of.
I'm very interested in this. I wish I could try it.
Yeah. Well, also totally unrelated. Dear God, totally unrelated. Did you also hear that Blue Chew gives you a super hard dick, Tristan?
I'm definitely gonna need some.
All right. Speaking of super hard dicks, let's look at the other half of this cast.
All right. Next we have Theresa.
All right. That might not be appropriate. I was really hoping Dino would be next. Sorry, Theresa. That wow, bad timing. That's
wow.
Blame
so
Karen.
She's a single mother.
She can do a lot with a super hard dick.
Okay. So, as much as she's a huge Survivor fan, her main aim for entering the game is to win the Soul Survivor's prize money and improve her financial situation.
Love it.
Last time around, she felt she had the moves, but not the social currency, playing herself out of the game.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hearing those words means so good because you have assholes and I used to be this asshole. It's just like the title Soul Survivor means more than the fucking million. So when you grow up and you become not an asshole and you understand life, you don't say bullshit stuff like the title Soul Survivor means so much more to me than the money. So hearing this, hearing that the money is the main incentive I need to hear more. That's the players that I want to root for going forward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as I said, Russell Hantz to this day, who, in spite of, whatever he claims financially, let's get real, people.
Is he still eating money on lives? I don't know.
I don't think he might be doing tremendous. If I had to bet money, I would bet against it. So, but to this day, no matter what his financial status is, he believes that the title Soul Survivor means more than anything else. And it's just like, all right, well, that's why no one will ever give it to you. So. I mean, it's a slap in the face to people that could use $1 million or $1 million rand.
Yeah. So, I think she's a good player. So we actually played with her in the Ruse online game, and she was in our alliance. And her and I were constantly plotting about potentially taking out Tristan the whole time.
Oh wow!
But she also lacked social capital in that game, which happened in her season as well. So
you're talking about someone who played the actual game.
Yes.
Was kind enough to give up her time to play a fan game and still doesn't earn the social capital that just comes with just, hey, remember I was on the actual fucking show? They're like, yeah, but, we got Karen Kuhlman. What the fuck is happening in your world?
Yeah. So I have experience with her, and she's aware of all of this. Okay. And I think if she can pull it off and build better relationships, she even said she's willing to pretend to like people this time around. So wow. I think if she can pull that off, she can make merge, and I would like to see her go far.
I don't think she makes the merge. However, I love that she's playing it for the right reasons. And the fact that she would pretend to like people makes me love her more than life itself, because we're talking about a fucking daily internal struggle. So, I feel your pain, girl.
Theresa was such a nice person. She's a mother, and she's super funny. She's actually got such a good sense of humor. A lot of her Facebook statuses she'll have on her son, she'll say the son says, off the top of my head, he'll say why does the word phase, as an example, have the letter P or something if you say it phase, and her answer would be because that's how you spell it, kind of thing. So it's she brings her
oh wow, she's hilarious.
Yeah, she's
I was so leaning post-merge, and then after such eloquent soliloquies as these, as that's how they spell it. Wow. First boot? Can we lock it in? First boot. And they misspell her name when they vote her out, and she's like, "But no, that's not how you spell it. Maybe you should check my Facebook statuses. They're gems just like that."
For the life of me, I really can't think of the actual jokes.
I'm guessing that was the case. Or more so praying for Teresa's part. Or Theresa, sorry. Theresa. It's not. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm going pre-merge. I'm going first boot. But Tristan, where are you at?
I say pre-merge.
Okay. I was about to say, I did go back and count during the commercial break, and out of the 10 people on the returning or post-merge tribe, you had 13 of them making post-merge.
Me?
Yes.
I did I went back and counted, and I was 50-50. I did 5 and 5.
There you go.
So my gut says pre-merge, but I'm gonna say post-merge because I'm hoping for post-merge for her.
I do hope post-merge for her. I really do. She was an amazing person to play an online Survivor with. I did feel when we were playing the online Survivor, I did feel a bit of disconnect. So when we started with our online game, I really started speaking to Theresa. I was really trying to connect with her. I was using her season as a way I could speak to her more and say, you know, season 8 was amazing, and I was watching you. I really liked your gameplay. I'm looking forward to, you know, hopefully if there's anything in the pipelines for you. Playing online Survivor, I'm excited to obviously find out, like, you know, I've always got as a Survivor fan, I've always got like questions at the back of my mind, like what happens before the show? Where do you stay? How long do you stay there for? Do they blindfold you? How long do you stay in a hotel before you do preseason stuff? How long do you do preseason stuff? And, you know, like, what do they give you a booklet on how to survive on the island, what to eat, what not to eat, which fish to fish for? So, you know,
now I see why she was conspiring with Karen to vote you out. She just didn't want to answer your fucking questions. He texts her and it's just like, just feel free to text back, and it's just like, go fuck yourself. Just like, I wouldn't even answer these if you asked me in person. That's like 2 hours of her life she'll never get back. She spent more time answering your questions than pregame at the hotel.
Now that you mention it, Jonny, that's probably why she wanted to be out. I was too much. But I did feel it. I did feel that time when I was playing on the online Survivor, when our conversations kind of started going down, and Theresa did say in her entry that she was seen as a robot in her season. You know, she didn't bring as much emotion. And when I was playing with the online Survivor, because I was playing with her, I got to kind of feel that robot Theresa. As soon as where she was leaning with Karen, I could feel that robotic, you know, I had to kind of say, hi, Theresa, how are you doing? And I would kind of get the robot answers did come in. So I see what she's noticed that in herself. And she's saying that because obviously she is a super fan of Survivor, so she needs to be strategic, which I think she's going to be this season. She's not going to...
Lack of food does not help not being a robot, though.
Yeah, she has problems with, like, she's not good at being fake. So, yeah. And that's a problem in Survivor.
So when you're hangry, it's very hard to hide that you're hangry.
So right. I think her success depends on her ability to be fake, because she's aware that she needs to do it. So we'll just see if she's gotten better. Like, is that something you can get better at?
She says she wants to pull on people's heartstrings, so I'm sure she's going to find ways to do that. So I really do think she's going to make it further than she did, for sure.
All right, I'm sticking with first boot. You just get out there and be like, you know what? I don't like any of you people.
Well, this is our pre-merged tribe, so all of them were already pre-merged boots. Right. So it's like kind of hard to think of them as making it further, but some of them will have to make it further.
Yes. Well, maybe. As I said,
unless they're just like... All right. So Pinty. I don't know much about her. She was almost first boot. So,
I like Pinty on Parks and Rec when she would always say mean things to Eugene Levy. Was it? I don't know. She looks like the character.
So to me, Pinty reminds me of there's a movie. I can't think of the name for the life of me, but it's an army movie where there's these two females, and the one female is like really like headstrong, you know, and she doesn't get on with the main character, but they find a way to work with each other. I'm not sure if you know which movie I'm kind of speaking about, but it's two women in the army that.
Private Benjamin with Goldie Hawn from like 1970. So sorry,
probably that one. I actually think it might be.
It's the blonde.
I think so. Actually, I think it might be that one. She's
Private Benjamin spawned a spin-off television show here. I think it aired on CBS back in the 80s, and same network that hosts Survivor today. So sorry, it was not Parks and Rec. It was Schitt's Creek, the character I was thinking of.
So apparently she had a lack of social finesse and controversial or confrontational behavior that got her booted in her season. So I feel like those are just kind of personality traits that don't change much. So I think we're going to see a similar result here.
Yeah, Ronnie. She reminds me of Ronnie on Schitt's Creek.
Ronnie.
Right?
She's more headstrong than Ronnie, though, eh? So
Ronnie's pretty headstrong.
But so Pinty comes across as quite like hard-headed and scary, where Ronnie's kind of just straightforward.
Ronnie's hard-headed and scary too. You ain't talking her into anything.
So last year, September, I actually attended the Survivor finale that was held for season 8 in Cape Town. It was really fun. And I got to meet Pinty. And who she is as a person is completely, from what I thought, was completely different to how she was on the show. On the show, she came across as very bossy. She called people out. You know, there was that one time, I don't know if you remember Carla, about the shoes that was by the fireplace. She kind of called her out and said, you know, Carla, you can't leave your shoes by the fireplace. They're going to burn. And, you know, it's like you said, Jonny, with the whole hangry, you know, kind of when you're on an island with no food and you're a headstrong person, you're going to kind of call people out for the small things.
Yeah.
And that's her personality. She just says things as they are. She's very headstrong. She's not scared to kind of tell you, like, if she's got an opinion to say, like, if it's wrong, she's going to tell you, you know.
She's got a Reem Daily vibe to her.
Yeah.
Remember Reem, the concierge of Exile Island or whatever, or what was it? Was it called? What was the island called?
Edge of Extinction.
Extinction Island,
yes.
or whatever. Yeah, Edge of Extinction, or the Edge. They call it anyway.
Yeah,
so, but if you meet Reem in real life, ridiculously likable. I mean, like the exact opposite of, you know, the person that's yelling at you for not hanging up your clothes or your shoes too close. So, and I feel if Reem played again, and I wouldn't be super shocked if she did, you know, on some, like if Survivor or the U.S. Survivor smart and you know, took advantage of Paramount Plus and did returnee seasons there, like the Challenge is doing and killing it. And given your reaction to meeting Pinty in person, that's what the concept of this season is. Return the Outcast, giving these people that say they came so close to winning their opportunity to win, but giving the people that totally shit the fucking bed, but casting was just like, I cast this person because they should have been fucking great, not because they should have been fucking horrible. And if they got a redo in life, they'd probably do shit differently. I think Pinty's going to be one of those people, hopefully. As I said, I got the Reem vibes, and especially after hearing what you said, Tristan. So I'm going post-merge Pinty.
So this season she says she wants to be more reserved. And I mean, when I met her in person, she's really got through that hard shell. She's really soft and she can really work on your heartstrings. And I think she's going to do better than she did in her season.
But it doesn't take much to do better.
Right.
It's fair.
I would say pre-merge for Pinty.
Right.
I'm also going to go pre-merge.
I love a redemption story. And I'm sure that's going to be true for all of these people that didn't make the merge the first time. So maybe I'm going in too early on this. But as I said, if you know, you met Pinty in person, you're just like, oh my God, I love this person. I met Reem Daily in person. Like anyone that saw Reem on Edge of Extinction, you're just like, there's a reason she was voted out. I guarantee she sucks in real life. She has to, based on what you saw. And then you meet Reem, you're just like, can I give you third place right now and we'll just work up from there? So yeah. So as I said, I love that comeback kid story. You know, it's just like, yeah, I did shit myself last time, but guess what? I got another pair of underwear. Let's fucking go.
I want to see it. Like, if I want to be wrong on this one, so
okay.
I'm still going pre-merge.
Okay.
Kellarney. So she has
Jesus
multiple
Christ,
black belts.
I'm frightened by her fucking name. First boot. I changed my first boot.
So in her season, I did recently watch this. And she was the type, like, she was very socially unaware. So she was just trying to direct the vote, not really asking people their opinions, and just saying like, oh, well, this is where the vote's going, and just assuming everybody was going to listen to her. And that did not go over well with people. It was just a level of social unawareness that I'm not sure you can develop that late in life.
Yeah. She reminds me of a cross between Nova from Australian Survivor Champions Contenders 2. She was an early boot. She reminds me of a cross between Nova and Philip Shepard.
I can't remember Nova.
Oh, you're lucky to not remember Nova. She was very hateable. You can do a quick search, just like Survivor Australia, or Australian Survivor Nova. Yeah,
so Kellarney, she's said many times in her entry that she's going to be the dark horse, and the podcast with Rob has a podcast. She's also again mentioned that she's the dark horse, and I agree with it because not many people, and I've got a lot of friends that are fans of Survivor South Africa, and I ask people about Kellarney on purpose because not many people know of Kellarney. Being the dark horse of the season, I do feel like it's going to, as much as she thinks it's going to work in her benefit that she's the dark horse, I do find that maybe it's not going to work out as well for her, because if you are a dark horse, you don't know how good she is. I mean, she's a martial artist. If she's strategic and she's social, she's got all three pillars, which means that she can get far in the game. And if you're not sure on her gameplay, I kind of want to get rid of the mysterious one, because you don't know how well they're going to do. So I would call pre-merge on Kellarney, but I do feel like she's going to be more aware this season, and I feel like she's got what it takes to stir the pot a bit.
I feel like I totally misread Kellarney, because like at first I thought she's a martial art, like she draws pictures of marshes. But
close, Johnny, close.
I'm reevaluating it. I think she might know a little bit of that karate.
I think she knows a little bit, at least.
Well, that helps her. Being an artist, I really don't feel drawing shit. It wouldn't really help you out there. There's not a lot of challenges that are like watercolor based.
Maybe they should do one.
And then she would do so good. She'd draw the marsh with a few happy little trees. So yeah. Are those enhancements I see on
They might be.
I'm a big fan of those. She's not first boot with those. I don't know how long I can play with them, but she's good for at least 4 days. Yeah, pre-merge. Sorry, Kellarney. I am scared of you. Your name is frightening. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm definitely pre-merge on her.
Yeah, drawing pictures of marches will take you nowhere in life. Okay, Phil.
Phil. So, Phil is a likable guy with a mischievous streak.
All right.
Although he is now a dedicated husband and father, he still resembles that naughty trickster he was in Champions more than a decade ago.
I'd like to ask his wife if he still has a naughty...
if he's a naughty trickster.
If he's a naughty trickster. Like, yeah, 4 affairs, asshole. He's very much a naughty trickster.
There was an incident in his season where there was something of him stealing sugar cane or something. I don't know exactly what happened, but I think that was part of why he was out.
So he was on his season, he was the provider. He was always the one getting the wood. He was the one starting the fires. He was the one kind of being the provider, the figure of his tribe. And I think that worked in his disadvantage because while he was doing all of that, people were scheming. People, while he was going to get firewood, he wasn't there. That's where people had conversations. He missed out on those conversations, and those are important. There was that time where
Ethan said on Survivor season 40, he called, like, right after he got back, he called me. He goes, Fairplay, the game has fucking changed. And I'm just like, what are you talking? He goes, remember when, if you didn't do anything around camp, people would fucking vote you out because you were fucking lazy? I'm like, yeah, like that's kind of how it works. Don't do anything. We'll just send you fucking home. He goes, yeah, you're not allowed to leave the camp ever. Yeah. And I'm like, what? Like, he was like, he would sit there. He's like, I'm going to go get some wood. They're like, hey, everybody catch that? Ethan says he's going to get wood. And then it's just like,
and that's when you speak about the person.
What the fuck did I just miss? I said I'm getting wood. They're like, oh, we heard you say you're getting wood. He was just like, so how do we add stuff to the fire?
I love this conversation.
Yeah. So, no, he said he goes it's fucking insanity. He goes no one does anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure Phil's just like, hey, I'm gonna go get all the food and get all the wood. And they're like, oh yeah, I bet you are. Like, what? No, I'm getting the food and the fucking wood. You're welcome. That's what it's not. I bet it's thank you. Those are the words you should follow that with.
Yeah. And I mean, with the whole sugarcane thing. So what happened was, because he was the provider and because he was missing out on all the important conversation, he had sugarcane on the side, and he thought, you know what? If I'm not going to be a part of those conversations, I'm going to keep this to myself. And that's where he wanted to bring in his villain character. So you'd go on the side and you'd have sugarcane until they found out about it. And like I said before, when you're lying on Survivor and they catch you out for it, that's kind of the end of the road for you.
Right, I think he makes merge this time, though.
I say merge.
I mean, look at him. He looks so innocent.
I think he's going to continue to provide. I think he's going to be smart enough to, if he does still have a stolen sugarcane supply, he's going to bring someone in with him to enjoy
Maybe he joins Francois with
Francois Ardina.
Chappie's and Philip's diner.
Yeah. So, well, you have to make the merge for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, we'll see if Chappie's has to make the merge for that.
Maybe tribe swap.
Maybe. I want to like him. I mean, fuck you for being mad that he did all the fucking work and decided to fucking have a snack on the side. He earned it. Yeah, I see all that. Everyone there will have watched the other seasons. There's no one that's not going to do their homework this go round. You get 1 second chance. And I don't think they're going to use what happened with Phil. I think that's going to work towards him. I think he's post-merge.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, well, it's Tanya Vance, the South African version.
So she is a character.
Tanya Vance is a character. Don't let her fool you. Don't let all the nice things Jonathan says on Facebook fool you. She is that awesome. She's also a character.
An interesting aspect to the champion season was you were allowed to steal immunity idols.
Yeah.
So she stole an immunity idol, and it got out that she stole the idol, and it just turned into a big thing. And she wound up getting voted out for that. Which did she not have it on her? Why wouldn't she play it? I don't remember.
It was David's idol.
Right. Yeah, there was a big thing. She made a final 2 with this guy. He showed her where the idol was, and then she went back and took it.
I like
it was also kind of I know of your idol, so we can kind of share it along the way. But it fell in David's hands, and he had it for himself. So she like she said, she was caught. She was a deer in the headlights. She was caught, with getting that idol, stealing the idol. So
also, one of the captains at the beginning of the game pointed her out as like the weakest player as well. So she had that working against her.
Yeah, I was just about to say that as well, that she was seen as one of the weakest and underestimated character.
Yeah. Everything that's working for Phil coming back and playing a second time, all those attributes, those same attributes for Shauna that she brings is going to work against her. It's
yeah,
like,
if I saw
this is someone that steals your shit. This is someone that was.
And that's when they changed it after the season. She stole the idol. That's where they changed everything, and then they said no more. Like you're not allowed to steal idols anymore.
Yeah. So, but it doesn't matter. Like she's the reason they had to change a rule. That's not someone you can work with.
Yeah, I don't see, like, she's kind of quirky too, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but that combined with the idol stealing and just based on what I saw, I wouldn't want to work with her. So I can imagine other people might not either.
She has an Ashley Nolan vibe to her too, from Survivor Triple H in the US. I think she's one of the heroes. She's the surfer chick. So she's got a little bit of that vibe, and a dash at Kim Spradlin. So.
There was one thing I did see on social media that that's why I was asking if there was a live game, and I know her and Tony played in a live game together, and I saw a picture on social media of her voting for Tony in that live game to vote her out. So there might be a rivalry if they're. I don't think she'll make it to merge to ever see Tony in this game, but if they did make it to merge, I don't know that they would be super excited to work together. But you never know what those relationships are like, because you can be against each other in the game and then be friends after.
Yeah. And Shona also met at the finale as well. So like you say, Karen, where you feel like she's a quirky character, she's very quirky. There's a place called the V&A in Cape Town. It's basically one of the very most popular tourist destinations when you come to South Africa. And you come to Cape Town, you have to go to the V&A. There's no we skipping that. You have to go. There's amazing restaurants. There's amazing things to do. Dino's actually got his business that's at the V&A. It's like an escape room and everything. It's really cool. And when we finished the finale, Shona was, very kind to put up her hand to say that we're going to, because there was a lot of props and stuff that we took from the head office that, from Afrikaans to the hotel that we had the function at. So kind of transporting the stuff back, she put her hand up to say she was going to help. And it was early in the morning. You've obviously had the Survivor finale. It was early in the morning. It's quite rough to carry heavy crates and stuff and load it into cars and take it to the V&A. And there was Shona literally standing in the parking, and she's busy dancing to no music. And she's telling me I must dance with her. And because the V&A is so popular, there's so many people walking around. She's not shy to kind of give that part, to show that part of her, that she can just drop down and start dancing in the middle of nowhere. I was quite surprised, and she makes me feel included and safe and everything. So I think that can bring out a lot of her character. She's going to make really good TV, I think, for this season. She's going to and also what I feel is people are wanting to downplay the season because it is a returnee season, because there are really good characters. People are wanting to downplay. If you watch a lot of the entries, they're going to say, I came in guns blazing. This season, I'm going to lay low. In a returnee season, I feel like everyone's going to lay low, kind of, be on that level 0. And
for 2 days.
And Shona, I feel Shona is going to kind of, break that, where everyone's trying to lay low and be the different kind of character that they were on the show. She's going to break that off. But I still do. I want to say post merge for Shona because I know her and I freaking love her. I would still say pre-merge though, but I do think she makes it way further than she did in her season.
I dig her. I just followed her on Instagram. She's kind of cute. pre-merge. Sorry. So yell at me in my DMs.
She reminds me of Harley Quinn. She's got that personality.
Oh,
Crazy,
wow.
quirky.
Yeah, I can't work with that. So, I date that, but I can't work with that. All right, Karen, you pre-merge, post-merge?
Pre-merge.
Pre, okay. All right, Felix.
All right, so Felix, apparently, according to the host of Survivor, he thinks Felix's downfall in his first season was being hangry. So I don't see how you can fix that. Because he's going to get hangry again.
Well, no, you can. You can. There's two schools of thought going into Survivor. There's totally different schools of thought going into Naked and Afraid. But on Survivor, is get fat and go out there, and then you just eventually your body eats away the fat. But your body is also used to you gorging yourself and reacts even more vehemently against it because you're not eating anything. So Ethan's a firm believer in, after talking with a nutritionist, dietitian and stuff, you wane your body into getting used to, like 2 very small meals a day, like 45 days going into Survivor. So there is something you can do to prepare for hangry, but I'm guessing Felix is like, I'm just gonna eat a whole bunch before I get out there. I'm gonna be all right. And Felix, I'm afraid I got some bad news for you. You should have talked to Ethan.
He said he did a lot of introspection and has grown personally.
That means he's 8 more.
Yeah.
You think about things while you're eating, and you grow more.
I don't remember him too much because I watched that over a year ago, and he was an early boot. But it sounds like he just had problems getting along with people, is my understanding.
Yeah, he was. He saw himself. I remember he said that when he finished the season and it was on TV and he saw it on TV, kind of felt embarrassed because that's not who he is. And he saw himself as a douchebag, kind of as how he saw himself. And this season he's saying he's wanting to build the relationships and be social. So kind of, I think, you know what, it is sometimes when a mistake happens and it's televised, you pick up and you say, okay, this is what I've done wrong. How can I turn it to make it right? And I feel like this season Felix is actually going to do really well. I wish I can say I knew more of his gameplay. He didn't stay in the game as long. Obviously being 17th place, there's so much gameplay yet to see, but I do feel like he can be very strategic. And looking at the Yontao tribe as a whole, I think his personality is it's going to bounce off everybody. It's going to bounce off Tanya. It's going to bounce off Dino. It's going to bounce off Theresa as well. So I think Theresa, even she like when I said she brings up jokes on Facebook or something, she mentioned that she was back on Survivor and someone from her family said, did you manage to find someone to date in Survivor or whatever? So I feel like Felix could be like a good bounce off that. And I feel like his personality it connects with every single person that's in Yontao. And he's also, he brings out, like if I have to think of Marvel Avengers, I think of him as being the Incredible Hulk, and if you get rid of the Hulk, what is the Avengers? It's not much. And I feel like Felix has got that body.
It's Avengers Endgame. He just wears the Hulkbuster suit. You don't have to be the Hulk. It's Avengers Endgame. It's not like a problem. Or no, sorry, Infinity War. It's Infinity War. And I guess it was a problem because they lost.
Oh yes, I remember that actually.
I'm gonna go post-merge for him. Maybe he's learned some things and he seems like at least self-aware watching it back, or I don't know.
I'm going pre-merge. I would never wear a hat that didn't have anything on, a logo on it. I don't care what the fucking rules are. They'll let you wear some fucking logo. So, you want to know the story on Dirty Harry wearing the Washington Nationals baseball team hat?
Didn't he want to wear a Mario hat?
Yeah, he's a Nintendo fan. And he wanted to wear a Mario hat. They're like, we can't get the clearance, and he's like, okay. And they're like, well, what else? He goes, I guess Washington Nationals. They're like, okay, why? And he's just like, it's red like Mario. Like that was, there's nothing more to it. I wanted a red Mario hat. You said no. So a red Washington Nationals, I guess. so yeah, Felix was just there. It's just like, yeah, I want a fucking Air Jordan fucking hat. They're like, yeah, no. And she's like, yeah, just black's fine. I'm like, no. Yeah,
I'm really rooting for him this season. I wanna see him go. I want to see him go far, actually. So I say post merge.
Wow. All right, 2 post and I'm going pre. As I said, you got to put a logo on your hat, brother. Come on, man. I'll every week I'll wear a different hat, and you guys will be like, man, you got some cool ass hats. I'm like, yeah, Felix don't. Felix got some
Poor
shit
Felix.
hats. All right, but actually, you're gonna have to remind me because he won't be on the season that long for me to remember to say that every week. All right,
Tanya. So she's a rock climber. She doesn't let society's rules and restrictions constrain her any less than she does gravity. She has a strong bond with her 3 children and some foster children and 5 dogs. She learned a lot about herself in the game of Survivor in her first season and is thrilled to get the chance to implement these learnings now. Where she spent a lot of time off on her own looking for idols before, she plans to spend more time with her tribe mates now. She's determined to win by aligning herself with strong players and making herself valuable at camp and as a vote. So my memories of Tanya in the show was that she was a little annoying to people. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes. Especially like when it was the beginning and when people first met Tanya, they were like, wow, she's very annoying. She comes across as too opinionated. She's just completely, everyone read her wrong. And she rubbed up the wrong. I mean, she's also like, when I say opinionated, she kind of doesn't step back and have a look at what's going on in front of her. She kind of just throws in her opinion right then and there, and people kind of felt uncomfortable with that. Little do you know, though, that if you spend enough time with her, you see that she's actually very wise, and the things that she says is actually very strategic. She's a very strategic player. She, from day one, when she got onto the island, she already started drawing numbers, and she was like, if I can get this person to work with this, and if I can get this to work with if I can work with this person's strong, I want to keep that one. That person's social, I want to keep that one. Because kind of you need strong and strategic and social to kind of all match up with each other. And she was wanting to do that for herself. So this season, I mean, she's even saying like she's going to be the wolf. She's gonna run her pack. So she's kind of running that same personality again.
Yeah, the Quickster in the comments says Tanya was very similar to Debbie, in my opinion, and everything you guys are saying, I'm just like, I'm kind of getting a Debbie vibe.
I'd actually say Debbie as well. I really would.
Yeah. Just imagine what her house smells like. Oh God, kill me. She goes home before. She goes home before.
I know how it smells.
She goes home before Kellarney, or whatever. Kellarney. Kiltastrophe.
I think she's 100% pre-merge.
Yeah, she's pre-merge, but it's whether she's first, second, or third boot is the only real question.
Which I think she was going to be first boot, but she got saved by a twist or something, right?
Yeah.
She got to leave her tribe. That's actually really interesting now that you bring that up. I just remembered, actually. So she got this advantage where she was able to leave her tribe.
Just her, or pick other people?
Just her.
Okay. I like the pick other people, because like we've only seen that in all. I don't remember seeing it in US Survivor, but we've seen that in Australian Survivor twice. with Luke Toki towards the end of Champions and Contenders 2. Champions Contenders 2, and then also with King George at the beginning of Brains versus Brawn. And both times it is the exact opposite of how I would use that advantage. Because like, if it's just like, hey, you can pick some people to say, like, that's the people I'm saving. and they're like, no. I'm going to get rid of the people that like, I want to get rid of the other people so that I can get, and I'm just like, fuck all that. So, and George did, he left enough to do what he wanted to do, but he also, he was just like, I'm going to save all the old and unpopular people. And they're like, fuck you, call me old and unpopular. So it was insanity. But yeah, so I guess she just got herself to save, and she saved herself. So yeah, now first, second, or third boot.
Very, I would say quite early in the game. I think the reason why I say early is because, again, I met her when it was the season finale, and I love her, and I want to say more because I want to see more Tanya, because I think she's going to make amazing TV. But
did you not like anyone at that finale though?
There were people that I was nervous to go and speak to.
So you didn't even speak to them?
Dante was one of them. I wanted to actually go and say hi, but because of his reserved personality, I was pretty scared to go and speak to him. I was too scared to go say hi.
So did you write him on your list of people that you're going to kill, and then you look in the mirror and put on lipstick and look at your list?
How did you know?
I am just doing everything possible to not make that list. And I know it's a pretty expensive plane ticket to get over here. But if they do that Battle at the Bush thing, I guess I'm going there. I'm going to look out for you.
But yeah, I do think very early.
Very early.
Because she is very strategic. I do feel like if I'm looking at the tribe as a whole, they're going to see that she's a strategic player, and they're going to want to get rid of that.
And or crazy. Okay. Seamus.
So he was first boot. My understanding was he was just guns blazing and gotta go. Played too hard, too fast. He
looks like if they did like a straight to DVD version of American Psycho, like this guy's it. Like, like really poorly acted and written. Seamus is your guy.
It says he's a massive Survivor fan. He has researched the game's strategies, heroes, villains, and the game's evolution over the years. He watches Survivor religiously with his mother and sees it as a big bonding experience for them. Oh. Understanding that he played too hard, too fast in the Philippines meant he didn't pay enough attention to his tribe mates and how they were approaching the game. He feels he has matured tremendously since this season, is in a far better mental state than before. With a second shot, he's determined to play the biggest game Survivor has ever seen.
Never.
So just to drop the bomb, this is my winner pick.
No.
What?
Seamus looks like the guy that finds his mom stuck under the table on Pornhub.
I feel like he has potential, Francesca potential.
Yeah, this guy's first boot. Or this guy, this guy's saving a lot of people from being first boot.
I completely say it's going to be a whole 360 from first boot to winner.
No way. No, I'm frightened of this guy. I'm gonna find him on all of my social media to block him out of fucking fear.
I do have another winner pick, but I have to go with Seamus because
what? You're doubling down. This is insanity.
I was told that I can't be biased, so I'm trying not to be biased, but I do have a secret winner pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not the one I said.
No.
Okay. Because you can't. There's rules.
No, I'm glad you didn't say this person because I really want this person to win.
Well, I might change it real quick, so we'll see.
All right.
I'm just gonna say them for the rest of them, so you're fucked. All right,
But I'm
so
excited to see his gameplay. Like, because he was first boot, I do think that he was kicked off first because they saw a lot in him to get rid of him.
There's usually a reason that you're first boot.
Yeah. So I'm really, he's giving me Chappies vibes, you know. So if Chappies doesn't make it into merge and Seamus does, he's going to be the person that gets to the end.
He looks like the jacked up, crazy version of Eric Stein from Big Brother.
I don't watch Big Brother, so I wouldn't
fucking,
know.
He was America's player, and he hated it because like America made him like do this stuff, and he's just like, look, I don't like America. I don't like the fucking fans. I don't like. And they're like, we love you, and he's just like, I hate you. You're ruining my fucking game. I wouldn't make any of the decisions you would make because you're all idiots. So yeah, this guy fucking frightening. Yes, very early boot.
All right.
Tevin's very serious.
So he's a Mr. Indian South Africa, a doctor. I thought he was he was good for a pre-merge boot, but he was arrogant in my opinion. And kind of thought he was better than other people. But maybe he's been humbled.
So he's very serious on this picture, but he's very much the opposite. So in person, he is very bubbly. Give him alcohol, even more bubbly.
Champagne is the bubbliest of alcohols. So give him some champagne.
Yeah.
It'll be a fucking laugh riot.
He wants to be recognized as one of the best players in the world, and he will stop at nothing to achieve it.
Oh, see? And he doesn't care about the money. That title Soul Survivor is all that drives it.
And he calls himself a survivor encyclopedia.
You know, encyclopedias are extinct. And maybe that mindset should be too.
Yeah.
I was going to say post-merge, but like every sentence you read, I'm just like pre-merge.
He's determined to cement his place in Survivor history books as one of the best the game has ever seen.
Oh, okay. Well, you got one of the best that's ever seen that's about to shit on you and say that you're pre-merge on this season. How about that? Hey, you made the books.
I don't know about him because he seems like he could be quite charismatic and like, I don't know. I've met people like that before that he seems like he'd have the ability to make you feel special, and that's pretty dangerous. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know enough about him. I'm unsure. I think I'm gonna go post-merge for him. Just because if you look at who he's on a tribe with, I don't think he's the guy you take out.
No. And I will give him a pass in this. He's 28. The dumb shit that he said on his interview there, that's the dumb shit you say when you're 28. So you say that same shit when you're fucking 48, I'll punch you in the fucking face. You're a fucking So 28, I'm saying that same shit at 28. It's nice to be in the elite. Go be post-merge and shoot me a message. I'll give you a congrats. How about that?
I say. So the thing is, he saw Survivor as a game of chess, and when I hear Survivor, because I've heard that before, where people say that Survivor is a game of chess, I tend to pull myself away from them because I don't see it as just being as robotic as just playing a game of chess. I get where you're coming from, where you have to move people around and maybe try and get people to vote with you. But the whole point of Survivor is you need to be social. You need to outwit, outplay, and outlast in a way where you need to have that social game to treat people as human beings and make them feel important. Because the minute that you don't make someone feel important, and that's what I've learned from playing online Survivor, if you forget to speak to them, if you don't make them feel safe, they will go against you. So if you are trying to be the puppet master and play a game of chess, it's not going to work out for you. As a doctor, he said that he wants to try and get people to trust him. And I do feel that doctors do a good job at that, because when I feel like I need to go to the doctor, I pretty much have a heart attack because I've got a fear of going to doctors.
I bet.
But when I'm there,
Chlamydia is not a flower and gonorrhea is not a country. I feel you, brother.
and I only found that out when I went to the doctors.
Throwing out words. I don't know what any of them mean.
So I would say that, because I feel like he could be a threat, and I think people would want to get him out soon. So I would actually say pre-merge.
Tristan, I understand what you say about people that look at the game of Survivor as chess or human chess. And I actually do give stock to that. But I also feel that if you don't figure out within minutes that it's also 60% luck in addition to that human chess and whatever additional elements that you bring to it, whether it be, a diet, getting your diet correct before you go out there, or becoming skin diver and scuba diver certified, or having the ability to talk up people, or having the ability to lie without showing the tells, or having the ability to know the tells. All right. So you put all those perfect attributes to make the perfect Survivor player ever, you're only getting up to 40% chance of winning the game. So, because especially in the newer version of Survivor, it is 60% luck that, that 60% can fuck you any day, no matter how perfect a game you play.
Especially with the 41 and 42, with the whole
hourglass and fucking advantages that, we spent the entirety of season 41 explaining what the advantages were and had no time to show the winner play the game. But yeah, no, it's a really cool version of Survivor. I hope everyone's enjoying it, because it's so much fun not to get character development and just learn about advantages for 13 episodes. It's wonderful television.
I think he's not going to be able to hide his threat level. So
but maybe that's okay.
Maybe. I think he's going to potentially make merge, but not late merge.
Yeah. I'm good with make merge. So I could potentially see him and Phil and hopefully Dino, or I want the strong women alliance on the post merge tribe, and I want the fun bad guy alliance on the pre merge tribe. Is that too much to ask for?
I don't know. Maybe we'll get it.
Yeah. Might happen.
Yeah, seems fun. Why not? I mean, if I'm casting this, I'm casting I'm not just casting individual personalities. I'm casting for potential alliances. I want this group to go against this group down. I want a showdown of I want gang wars.
Yes.
The Warriors, that's what I want to see. So, and I think you potentially do that with, some fun bad guys and some strong women. So
I do feel like with this season, because it's an all returnee season, just trying to think back, Jonny, what you said about the physical games, does it beat the US? Where is it? AU in the middle. I feel like this season there's going to be really good challenges coming up ahead, because I think with Survivor South Africa, we've kind of had a look at what Australia's got,
and you like it,
the physical games, and we like it as the South Africans. We really like those physical games.
Yeah,
and
it's more it's honestly painful watching Australian Survivor, because you will see the same exact challenge on Australian Survivor, and it's just like, we're 4 hours and 23 minutes into the challenge, and then that same exact challenge on season 41 or 42 is just like, and we have a winner at 3 minutes. We didn't even need to edit it down for time, and like, here's the entire fucking challenge in its entirety.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm really looking forward to the challenges, because I really think Survivor South Africa has stepped it up this season, because it's a big season, big challenges.
So, as I said, and just the concept of people that that a lot of people felt should have won, and people that were cast for a fucking reason and shit didn't work out. Like, that's a great fucking theme. So U.S. Survivor hasn't done that. So, because that's not what Game Changers was, that's not what Second Chance was. They were so individualized in what they really were, and then they really never captured the theme of either one of those. And then, and then you look at Australia, and they've just ripped off what we've done. So yeah, I love an original idea. It's so crazy.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Best for last.
This is my secret winner pick.
I was considering him for a winner pick too.
Wow. So,
but I was told that he's
sending me a buff.
So he also won the online South African game. So his picture is up there with mine. So I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I want to see an online player do well in the real game. It usually doesn't work out very well for the online players, but he's like proven that he can win an online game, flamed out early in the real game. So we've got a second chance here. So I'm excited to see what he has.
So peek behind the curtain, and any survivor that knows me knows I'm not afraid to read our text messages on a podcast. So be warned, other Survivor South African players. But is soon to. So anyway, Luke Toki put up his three Survivor South Africa picks, or those three that he's rooting for. Maybe not to win. Or, I'm sure he's rooting for them all to win, but maybe he doesn't think they're going to win, but he's rooting for them. So, and he hopes they win. So, but I take what Luke Toki says as the gospel. So, I followed Dino, and he said, "Thanks for the follow." I'm like, "Well, I'll be watching the new season. It'll be my first time watching SA, but you got the Luke Toki endorsement, so you can't be but so bad." And he says he's heard that we're doing the podcast, and he goes, "I am pretty shit. I was a chaotic pre-merge boot. Got the Toki endorsement because I hung off a helicopter strut, sporting his creeping gear before getting cast. That's it." God bless your honesty, Dino. Please do not use any of that in the game. Hopefully, you had just finished filming. You're just like, "Oh my God, I just got through lying for however many days. I need to finally tell the truth to someone. I'm going to start with Jonny Fairplay, and here it goes." So, yes, I post-merge all the fucking way. The only reason I'm not going to root for you to win or make you my winner pick, Dino, is because I would like you to win. So that's the only reason you're not getting the winner pick.
Johnny, you literally took the words right out of my mouth. Like, it's exactly what I wanted to say. He's got every, like, I don't know, like when he was in Immunity Island, people saw his puzzle skills, and that's why he was pretty much voted out. Not only because I feel like on Immunity Island he was a bit paranoid.
Yeah, drop that paranoia shit. Whatever happens, happens. So be attentive and observant, but don't be paranoid. There's a huge fucking difference. Yeah,
and there was that part with the help me Paul. Karen, do you remember watching that? Or so there was a whole challenge. It was very early in the game. They were doing the puzzles, and Dino could see that his tribe was pretty much not going to get the win. And when he looked at the other tribe, he could see that their puzzle was almost finished. So he kind of made contact with Paul, which was another contestant on the other side of the tribe. And what happens is when the losing tribe goes to tribal, they get one person to go to Immunity Island. And I think Dino, obviously with the paranoia stepping in, he stepped back and he asked Paul to help him. He said, "Help me, Paul." And someone in Dino's tribe saw, his name's Sean, he saw Dino mouthing, "Help me, Paul," to the other tribe. So that kind of already got him off on the bad foot right in the beginning. I feel like this season, he's obviously a massive Survivor fan. He's won an online game, and he said in his entry that it would be really cool for a Survivor super fan to win. And we've experienced that with Survivor 42, which is probably one of my favorites Survivor America seasons with Marianne, because it was
you
Marianne,
and I are very different.
I'm a fan of 42.
I'm a fan of 42. It's not one of my favorite seasons of all time.
Yeah, I liked it because it was just amazing to see a Survivor super fan win. And I feel like
I love the Marianne story. I just Caesar's okay.
So I feel like
Caesar's much better than 41. By comparison, it's great season ever.
But yeah, I do I'm not being biased at all. I mean, Dino is my winner pick, but he said I mustn't be biased. So I'm going with the Sheamus just to not be biased, but he's my secret winner pick.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to jinx him. So we're all 3 post-merge.
Yes.
Team Dino.
Okay. All right. Dino, go win. You're this is obviously the extremely jaded podcast for Dino to win. So if you're anti-Dino, you're probably going to hate this podcast. So.
To not jinx him, I'll do my winner pick for Palesa.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me get back. Where is she? Oh, Palesa. That's your winner pick?
Yep.
Okay. And Tristan, who's your winner pick?
Sheamus.
Sheamus.
Oh yeah, Sheamus. That's right. Oh my God, you're insane. He's insane. Oh my God. All right, Tristan. Blink. Well, no, that won't even work correctly. I was just like, all right, Tristan. If you were Tristan and Sheamus killed you and is wearing you as a skin suit right now, please blink twice. But I don't think Sheamus would do that because you're wearing the Tristan skin suit. So never mind. All right. Well, I wish we had Tristan. We have Sheamus here. It's weird. You're the only person saying that. So, and then I'm going Marianne. So I'm sticking with it. Hey, how crazy would it be back-to-back Marianne winners?
That would be cool. I feel like we've been on a roll with female winners lately too, minus AU.
Although her name is pronounced a little bit different, so it's Marion.
Marion.
Yeah.
Okay. Same. I'm in America. We butcher everything. Have you not figured that out yet? Yes. We're very horrible people. Yeah. So real quick before I let you guys go, I have a question. As far as casting, did they do pretty good with their post-merge cast picks and their pre-merge cast picks? Or is there someone that's sticking out like a sore thumb? It's just like, what the fuck were they thinking?
I think in general, Survivor South Africa casts really great people. There are maybe 1 or 2 people that I wish I could have seen on the season, but when I'm looking at this cast, it is amazing. There's representation left, right, and center. There's good TV. There's headstrong characters. There's, it's just, I feel like this season, it really was the season of the Outcasts. It's not, so what people are confusing it with, it's not an all-star season.
Yeah.
It's not the people that they want to see back. I know that there's a lot of Survivor South Africa players that would be great to come back, but obviously not for return of the Outcasts. Maybe for a returnee season for All-Stars, which I feel is going to happen one day because there are players that definitely want to come back. And I feel like with future Survivor South Africa seasons, there's going to be a really good all-star season.
Yeah,
but
maybe you do a season like this first to kind of build up those there's the all-stars that you just would have picked, and then there's the all-stars just like, holy shit, like think about the first returning season ever. This person had a chance to make it, they got a second chance to fucking do this right. They fucking do it right. That's who or almost do it perfectly right. That's who I want to see on an all-star season going against these super all-stars.
Exactly, yes. And I feel like with this season, because it's Return of the Outcasts, having a look at each and every person individually, the reason why they were voted out was they really fought for their position in the game. There were people that tried changing the votes. There were people that really had so much game left in them where you wanted to see more of them. They were voted out too soon. And that's why I'm looking forward to the season, because there's so many people that I remember even when the seasons were on air and I would speak to my friends, I'd say, like Seamus was voted off first as an example. I feel like he had so much game left in him. I wanted to see what he was going to do further. There was Steffy, for example, where I thought she was, when I watched episode 1 where she was like the Lara Croft of the season, I was like, this chick's going to win. Obviously things change down the line, but that's exactly what this season is meant for. It's for them to reignite their flame and to correct their wrongs. Palesa went home with an idol. Is she going to go home with an idol this season?
I don't know. She's going to win, so.
She might leave with an idol as a souvenir.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, well, I'm excited. And for those of you trying to, that are looking forward to this, looking forward to watching at home, when's the premiere?
Monday, right?
Yeah.
So they're doing 4 episodes a week.
I heard.
So I think that just logistically, we can just do a week recap.
End of the week recap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
18th July.
Awesome.
And episodes.
So that means Friday morning I will be watching 4 episodes and blocking the hashtag Survivor SA across all social media.
Yes, I probably need to unfollow some things. I saw Dino post something today in a super fan group, and I was like, I need to unfollow him and like unfollow this group. Like, I don't want to see anything.
On Facebook, he had a post. He had like a Survivor South Africa Outcasts spoiler list. Click on the link, and then when you tap on the link, it gives you a picture of Nico saying that he's very disappointed in you.
And for anyone looking for links to watch this, the easiest way to do that is become a patron at adfreeNSFW.com. I'm pretty positive there'll be links posted daily. So go to adfreeNSFW.com. The best way to support the podcast. And you get added to the secret Facebook Survivor or the secret Reality NSFW Facebook group. We have a weekly Q&A. It's a lot of fun. We have guest hosts, including people like Karen. And so check that out, adfreeNSFW.com. So Tristan, I guess I'll be seeing you next Friday.
Yes, you will be.
Karen, I will be seeing you next Friday.
Yep.
And the world. You'll be seeing Jonny Fairplay next Friday talk Survivor South Africa. First time viewing ever. Beyond excited. I have heard, there's no way so many people could lie to me. It's got to be incredible. So excited. So look for it. Thank you, everyone. We'll see how we do with our picks. Hopefully we did not fuck someone out of $1 million rand, but we shall see. So until the premiere week, we'll see you then.
See you then.
And for more reality NSFW content, visit adfreeNSFW.com.